What's up guys, and Funape here. If you notice that the intro is actually a little different, it's because one of my friends actually made that intro, and his name's Nathan. It's not Sam, but it's still a badass intro, and I definitely really like it, so thank you, Nathan. As you probably know, over the course of lockdown, I've actually been trying to keep myself busy on Pokemon. Like, I've actually completed the Pokedex on Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and got the Shiny Charm. That's another video for another day. But I've also managed to get the 50 streak at the Battle Maison, which I haven't been able to do since, ever. Ever since the X and Y came out, I've never been able to get past the 50 streaks. Mainly because I wasn't really much of an EV trainer back then. But I'm better at competitive building now, and so I'm going to be going over what team I used and how the battle played out. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and be sure to let me know if you actually agree with the team I built, if you have your own team ideas, or if you have any questions for how to build your own competitive team to get past the 50 streak in a Battle Maison. Feel free to let me know down in the comment section below, because I'm actually quite experienced with competitive battling. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Well, this is going to contain a lot of information, so I'm putting on these just so I can stay focused. Okay, the first Pokemon that I actually used on my team was a Kangaskhan. Now, Kangaskhan was definitely a lot more powerful back in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because back then its parental bond wasn't nerfed, which means you have an obliterator on your team. That's why I decided to go with Kangaskhan. I had the Jolly Nature and perfect IVs in attack and defense, and then I EV trained it and maxed out its attack, maxed out its speed, and put a little bit in HP. And the moves I gave it were Return, Fake Out, Power Up Punch, and Crunch. This moveset is incredibly OP on a Mega Kangaskhan. That's actually what I would recommend for you. If you actually decide to use my team, if you want to use a Kangaskhan, choose its Mega, because regular Kangaskhan just ain't gonna cut it. It is so broken with this moveset, because if you decided to use a Mega Kangaskhan, then I would definitely recommend putting it in the front of your party, then Mega Evolve it straight away, then use Fake Out, and then it'll flinch right away. Unless it has an ability that stops it from flinching, or has an ability where if you flinch, it'll up its speed. But other than that, you're golden. Then use Return and Power Up Punch to either A, knock out your opponent quickly, or B, just up your attack for the next opponent. And if you come across a Ghost type, use Crunch, and then they're dead. As you can see, this Kangaskhan is made to obliterate anything. This built for Kangaskhan is specifically made to either A, wipe out the entire team, or B, do enough damage, and if it does faint, the other two members can finish it off quite nicely. And I gotta say, this Kangaskhan has definitely got to be one of the most important, if not the most important member of your team if you decide to use the team I built. But I'll discuss that later on. Time to move on to the other two members of my team. The second member of the team was definitely one of the most difficult Pokemon to actually take down. And once I reveal it, you'll understand why. The second Pokemon that I added to my team was a Protein Greninja. Now, if you're not familiar with the competitive scene, then let me tell you something. Greninja is one of the most broken Pokemon in competitive, no matter what format you play. Protein Greninja can literally be anything that you want it to be. It's like the Swiss Army knife of Pokemon. It is so goddamn broken. You literally let it be anything you want. A physical attacker, a special attacker, a mixed attacker, a setup, Ash Greninja. You can literally be anything that you want it to be. My Greninja had the timid nature and perfect IVs in special attack and speed. And I EV trained it in special attack, speed, and put the rest in HP. And the moves I gave it were Surf, Dark Pulse, Haze, and Spikes. You're probably thinking to yourself, why would you put Spikes and Haze on a Greninja? Well, let me explain. Well, first off, I did put Sir Earth and Dark Pulse on Greninja because I need some hard-hitting moves, plus Dark Pulse has the chance to flinch. I put Haze on Greninja because Haze has the ability to wipe out any status changes that has happened in this Pokemon battle. Which means, say if you're facing a Machamp and it decided to use Bulk Up, I can use Haze and then it will lose the attack and defense points that it gained. And I say if someone actually lowered my some stats, I can actually use Haze to gain them back. And I gave Spikes on Greninja because one, it can cause damage no matter if the Pokemon decides to switch out. Plus, it can also turn into a ground type, which means if I face against like an electric type and I decide to use an electric move, I can take it and not take any damage. Also, my Greninja had the Focus Sash, which means if it someone uses a potential move that can end my Pokemon in a one-hit KO, the Focus Sash allows me to live on 1 HP, which means I am guaranteed to get at least one attack off. As you can see, this Greninja was built to be like an attacker and a set-upper at the same time, which means it's definitely a worthy member of your team. Like, all 3 members are definitely Pokemon that you should have on your team. But the 3rd member, I'm pretty sure let's just be honest, he is the most powerful Pokemon on this entire team, probably. And I'll explain why. For the 3rd member of the team, I needed a Pokemon that can literally dominate any Pokemon on the field just in case Kangaskhan manages to lose the battle. I actually tried my best to find the perfect Pokemon that can cover for Kangaskhan should it lose. And I definitely found the correct Pokemon to add to the team. The final member of this team was Garchomp. Garchomp was definitely one of the most powerful Pokemon, if not the most powerful Pokemon on the team. And here is why. I was searching around for a Gible for a while in the wild just to see if I can come across a really, really powerful Gible. And when I came across one, it had 5 perfect IVs. Like, it had 5 perfect IVs in everything except special defense. Unfortunately, I've tried to make it breed it so I could get 6 perfect IVs and the hidden ability Rough Skin. Unfortunately, that was not possible, which means I had to stick with the Gible I had. But that wasn't necessarily a bad thing because it did have an alright ability in Sandvale, because I actually came across quite a few Pokemon that actually use Sandstorm. So that it helps me out quite a lot. Like I said, it had 5 perfect IVs, and the one it didn't have was special defense, but that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It also had the ability Jolly, and I also EV trained it in max attack, max speed, and put the rest in defense. And the moves I gave it was Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Swords Dance. The reason I gave him this moveset is because, well, Dragon Claw and Earthquake for obvious reasons. They're stab attacks and they're extremely OP. Swords Dance to increase all of his already powerful attacks, and Iron Head for coverage against ice and fairy types. And it also had the Rocky Helmet, which means if it physically attacks my Garchomp, it would sustain damage. That was definitely the most important thing in the entire 50 streaks. I'll explain why later. As you can see, my team was built around speed and power, which was definitely a necessary thing for the 50 streaks, because like speed and power is pretty much everything that you need to get through 50 streaks in the Battle Maison. And I definitely got to say, it did come with, I did manage to get through the 50 streaks with a bit of skill and a little bit of luck at the same time. But that is what you need to get through the 50 streaks in the Battle Maison. Unfortunately, like the dummy I am, I forgot to save the battle for the 50 streaks, so I can't physically show you the battle. But I'm going to explain what happened, and everything that I say is 100% the truth. So, let me tell you exactly what happened against my 50 streak battle in the Battle Maison. Okay, so my 50 streak opponent for the single battles was Nita, and she actually used Landorus, Tornadus, and Thunderous, which were the 3 legendary genies. She started off with Landorus, and I went into Kangaskhan. I Mega Evolved it straight away and used Fake Out, it flinched. And I did manage to get a bit of chip damage. Then the next move, she actually outsped me with the Choice Scarf and used Focus Blast. I thought Kangaskhan was going to literally be O-code, but it lived on the tiniest bit of HP. Like, literally, it was just by, like, it was in the low reds. Like, it was, like, that much. So, I decided to use Return, and then I knocked it out in 1 hit. Then she brought in Tornadus. I used Return, and then I knocked it out in 1 hit as well. Which means Kangaskhan took out 2 Pokemon with Return. And that was absolutely broken. Her final choice was Thunderous. It outsped me and used Wild Charge, and then Kangaskhan went down. I decided to bring in Greninja because I could change its water typing, and it also outspeeds Thunderous. So I decided to go with Dark Pulse, hoping that it would flinch, and it did go into the yellow zone of the HP. Unfortunately, it didn't flinch, so he used Wild Charge on me. But I lived because of the Focus Sash, but it didn't actually went down to the Focus Sash. It actually lived on 22 HP. And then I decided to use Dark Pulse again, hoping for another flinch. It went down to red HP, it didn't flinch. He decided to use U-turn, and then knocked out Greninja. Then my final Pokemon was Garchomp. It was slower than Thunderous, but no matter what it could have done, I was guaranteed the victory. Because all of its attacks were physical attacks. So if it hit me with a physical attack, the Rocky Helmet would have down its HP and then gone. But if I outsped, I would have hit it with a Dragon Claw, dead. But it outsped me and decided to go with Sky Drop, which means after the damage, it hit the Rocky Helmet and knocked itself out. And that is how I beat the 50 streaks of the Battle Maison. Like I said, I don't have the actual recorded battle, so I can't physically show you. But I can show you a picture of my trainer card changing. It will be on the screen somewhere. Basically, can you see that it looks slightly different to how a regular trainer card looks? It actually changes your trainer card from standard to silver when you actually get past 50 streaks in the Battle Maison. So that's enough of proof if you ask me. And there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did. If you have your own like suggestions and for the Battle Maison 50 streaks, or if you agree with any of the members of the team, or if you have if you need any advice to actually build a competitive team for the Battle Maison, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below, and I will tell you, or I'll even send you to a link to teach you how to IV breed, how to EV train, and all that fun jazz. Also, guys, you don't have long until I do my meme review. So, go to my Instagram, at Robert_the_Infernape, and send me your memes. The theme for my meme review is going to be relatable memes. So, be sure to send me as many memes at my Instagram as you can. If you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. It's been Inferno today. Okay, that's all for me, so till the next time, this is Infernape, signing off. Bye!